Welcome to Feeling Asian, a podcast where two Asians talk about their feelings. I'm Young Mi Mayer.
And I'm Brian Park. And
we have a special episode.
Yeah.
Special Mother's Day episode for our listeners.
Mother's Day episode. It's
chaotic Mother's Day.
This is our thesis. It's all come to this. This is the grand culmination of our podcast.
Listen, if I know our listeners, I know that they're really excited about this because I feel like they really like it when we get personal. Like when we had that episode where we were having a fight, people were really into it. So this is probably right up their alley.
This is right up their alley. Our listeners like the tea. They want the hot gossip. And we're going to give it to them. But this episode, you know, it's a Mother's Day episode, but our guests are very special this week, Young Mi. And
yeah,
I think our listeners, since they know how to read, they have a pretty good idea of who the guests are this week.
So for the Mother's Day episode, Brian and I decided that we wanted to, you know, celebrate the mothers in our family. So this week we decided to invite, my mom, who will be on shortly. Yikes. Everyone get ready.
But I asked my mom, and my mom's too shy to do the podcast, so I got the next best thing, which is my sister, my older sister, who's 9 years older than me, aka basically a second mom, but also a very cool Nuna for all you Korean listeners out there. But I think I want to introduce her. Can I just introduce her, Young Mi?
Of course, please.
All right, listeners, this is a very special episode. Our guest this week, friend of the pod. I've known her my entire life. Listeners, give your ears to my older sister, Jessica Park.
Hey guys, thanks so much for having me today.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous and uncomfortable are you right now?
11. And, this morning I woke up and I was telling my husband how nervous I am. And he just said to me like, oh, you're fine. You're a trial attorney. But honestly, I don't think I've ever been this nervous because to be an attorney, usually I'm like speaking on behalf of my clients. But this is the first time where I'm kind of just talking about myself and my feelings. So the tables kind of turned. So my heart's jumping out of my chest a little bit.
Wow. Listeners, you heard that.
Wow.
You heard that here first. My sister is the favorite because ding, 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 she is an attorney. And she let you know that right out the gate.
I always feel like people always, like the few times people have said that they are really nervous to be on the podcast, I'm like, I can't tell at all. Like you seem so calm and collected right now. I'm like, wow, I would have never known if you didn't say that.
Oh, thank you. My hands are sweating.
Really? Because I feel like when I'm nervous, I'm like, I look dumb or so. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, everyone can tell, but.
Oh, well, it's so weird. I keep calling you Jess, but I want to call you Nuna, which is the, in Korean, that's like the term that you call your older sister. But first and foremost, thanks for doing the pod. I know that it's a bit uncomfortable and a bit odd and maybe even weird for you. But yeah, a big reason why I thought you'd be great is that you are also a mother yourself. But in fact, I think it's a little different from our mom because you're of our generation. We're of the same gen, and you're kind of going through the early aughts of motherhood right now, and I'm excited to dive into that with you. But before we ask you how you feel, Jess, Young Mi, how are you feeling?
Okay, so I know that this is gonna be like, I don't know what's gonna happen on this episode, but it's a very personal episode. But my how am I feeling this week is very surface level. Surprisingly, I got new plants, and it's like made my life 1,000 times better. Like,
wow.
I love the plants. Like I'm just like I'm like going up and like I got like a really big long like hanging one, and I'm just like looking at it every day, making sure it's okay. and I'm like stressing out about watering it. I'm like, I just watered it like 3 days. I don't want to overwater it. Like I got plant food and pebbles.
How far away
like
are
my
you
kid.
until your entire apartment's overrun with plants and your shower is all plants?
Honestly, I was like gonna go today and get more plants. I'm like I'm so obsessed, and I got like nice little pots. The pots are what's expensive. If anyone has plants out there, I'm like talking like I'm a plant expert now. I've had plants for 3 days. By the way, the plants are expensive, but the pots are really expensive. But then I like got like this nice decorative pot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I don't know what's going on with me, but I'm just like so in love with them. And I just moved it around. I just moved it over here before the recording so I could look at it.
Wow, I love that for you. I feel it through the screen, this Zoom screen, young me, because you seem chipper.
It's really changed my life. Honestly, it's like the mother episode, I guess. So I guess, out there, if you're listening, you don't have kids, you don't want kids, you're not even thinking about it. If you have a plant, you kind of are a mother. The same feeling.
Wow.
Same exact feeling. I feel the same way to my plant as to my child. So it's like, when your friends have like pets and you're like complaining about being a mom, Jessica, and they're like, I have a puppy. And you're like, shut up.
No, I know what you're saying.
Like, that's me.
Oh my god! But you also
That's
actually
me right
have
now.
a son too. On top of that,
I'm stressed. I haven't gotten any sleep because of my plant. I'm in that like phase. I have a baby plant. Yeah, no, but I'm in like great mood because of my plant. I know that's like, it seems like such a, but Brian, you and I have talked about this. Like little tiny things will really shift our mood, and it's like, life is so difficult right now with everything going on. Why not take these little pleasures,
damn.
I'm just getting really into my plant. Yeah.
Spoken like a true
That's it.
mother. All you need to do is start sharing some bad inspirational quotes on your Instagram, where it's like a horrible JPEG that says, "Every moment is a blessing."
Live, laugh, whine, or something like those. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling right now with the plants.
I love it.
How are you feeling, Brian?
Similarly, I'm going to keep mine pretty short and sweet because I want to, kind of roast my sister a bit. But I'm feeling great right now. So currently, at the time of this recording, I am not in New York. I'm doing a little remote work vacation situation, and I remember a few weeks back, Youngmi, you described New York as anytime you go outside, there's something that will happen that will make you really on edge and hostile and make you say that fuck for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I love it here. There's so many plants where I'm at right now. And it's really nice to walk outside and just have the past 3 days pretty low stress, and people are friendly and not encounter situations that make me uncomfortable or aggravated or annoyed. And wow, I'm living my best life right now. It feels great. And honestly, this is probably my first real vacation since pre-COVID. So it's I'm feeling good. Low stress right now.
I mean,
Yeah, that's the thing about
Oh, sorry. Well, and also you're childless, so you can enjoy that vacation and sleep in and take that stroll.
Oh, 100%. There we go again. My sister reminding me that not only is she an attorney, but she's also a mother. And I am the spoiled youngest child. Yes, I am. But no, of course. That is something that I have become more aware of lately is to really take advantage of the fact that I am childless right now, because I feel like clock is ticking. And when I was younger, I would hear like advice from people who are like parents, like, oh, man, like live it up, because once you have a kid, it's over. And so I'm like, oh shit, maybe that is true. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a plant at home, so I guess that gives me the authority to say yes. I get it.
You know what it feels like to be a parent.
Yeah.
No, seriously, having a kid, going on, I don't know why people go on vacation with kids. Going on a vacation with kids, it's so hard. It's just like makes you even more tired.
It is. You need a
Yeah,
vacation
it's
from
not
the
fun.
vacation when you're going on vacation with kids. It's very, very
'Cause, like-
emotional and stressful and
Yeah. There's
hot.
no relaxing. I went to cuz wait, I don't know if you're not telling people where you are, Brian. Do you care?
I don't
'Cause
know. I've been
oh.
keeping it vague, but go on.
Oh. I went to where you are when Mino was like 6 months old or something.
That sounds like fucking hell. Why would you do that?
Where remember your story about you stepped on a crack and threw out your back the first day
Yeah.
because the sidewalks are uneven? Okay, imagine going on those sidewalks with like a travel stroller. And there's like, you know when the baby's 6 months, they like have zero like ability to brace or like hold on. So it's just like a loose potato in there. Like, and then you're walking and then like all of a sudden it's like 3 feet and you're like trying to lift the stroller up 3. Like what is this? Like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
So
No,
funny.
so where I'm at right now, it's a densely populated city, but I went to one of the tourist attractions and I overheard these two parents talking between themselves, and the mom was like, "Aren't you so glad that we didn't bring our kids on this trip?" And I felt that so hard. I don't even have kids, but I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I felt that. There was so much emotion in that.
Well, so Brian, so when mom, you know, we were talking about where you're at and mom was like, let's go on a family trip together. But honestly, I was thinking in my head, I was like, I definitely want to go there. We had plans on going there, but we wanted to leave the kids behind and not take the kids to go there. So she made it this like group trip to let's take the, you know, Oliver, my 2-year-old and the 7-year-old. I'm like, no, John and I wanted to go, but we wanted to go alone by ourselves without the kids, you know, really enjoy the cuisine and everything that it offers. So I give you props, young me, for taking your 6-month-old Amino at the time.
Yeah. I honestly don't
Super
even
mom.
remember what I did with him. Yeah, I think I just took him to the park I have no idea.
But enough about us. Jess, how are you feeling?
I'm good. Geez. My answer is going to be so depressing compared to your 2 answers, but this is honestly how I'm feeling. So the other day, for the first time, I told my husband, I'm like, I'm really lonely. I'm really lonely right now. And I haven't had this feeling, but it just kind of surfaced out of nowhere. And I felt the need to share it. And just a really quick background. I lived in New York for 13, 14 years. I moved to sleepy West Texas about a year and 2 months ago. I don't have any friends here. I do have my parents, but it's very different from friends. And I'm no longer in the corporate world. I own a small business. So honestly, my only interaction every day is with my high school employees. So aside from that, the only people I talk to are my employees, my mom, and my kids, and my husband. So the social aspect of my life is completely missing. And I think the first year I didn't realize how lonely I was because I was so hyper-focused on just making sure that my kids transitioned well, especially my 7-year-old daughter. So I was more focused on that. And now that she is thriving in her, you know, new school and everything, I think mentally, like all of a sudden out of nowhere, we were just having a family dinner with mom and dad, extended family was over. It was a big dinner.
Yeah.
And it was this heaviness that I felt. And we were cleaning the dishes and I turned to my husband. I was just like, I'm really lonely. And it was weird because there's so many people around me, but I felt this void like for the first time. And I can't describe it. But I just feel this void and it's this heaviness. It's not debilitating where I can't carry on with my day, but just occasionally I've noticed now since I said that to my husband, I just feel it. It's like it just passes in moments like, oh, I'm really lonely. I miss my friends. And
Yeah.
I'm at an age where I'm very middle-aged. I'm just accepting it. And it's harder to meet friends at my age. It really is, especially when you're a
Yeah.
mom, because you kind of already have your tribe. And at my age, I'm going to be 41 soon. You're already thinning out your group. Like you're thinning it out.
Yep.
Like you're not growing it. And so meeting friends here has been, I don't know, it's been difficult. I've met nice people, but like connecting with them has not been easy. Like, I guess it's me. Maybe I have a wall up, but yeah, that's how I'm feeling.
No.
But I'm fine. I mean, it's just, yeah, I feel this void right now. And I'm kind of figuring it out myself, how to deal with it.
Yeah. I think it's incredibly, a lot of people talk about how hard it is to make friends when you're older because your lifestyle, like the places that you go to are not conducive to like starting new friendships.
Yes.
And you know, like what you're saying, a lot of people make friends at work and you're saying you have a small business now and the people there are like in a very different like,
well, they're high school kids.
group.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Although you can have a 17-year-old best friend, you know, like that meme. It's like you and like your best 15-year-old best friend, Cindy or something.
Exactly. And I think because of COVID, it's harder to meet parents because they're still keeping it very the social events a little bit more separated, like pick up and everything. But I'm just feeling like that 5-year-old kid, the new kid on the playground, you know, trying to find my footing.
Moving is so hard.
Aww. Damn.
People
I'm
talk
sorry,
about
Nuna.
moving being hard for like younger people, but
no, I'm fine. Like I'm thankful, but like I don't know. It's just.
I imagine. I don't know. Is this? I see. I don't. Obviously, I don't have a child, so I wouldn't know. But like, is it like? Can you make friends at school? Like, I guess don't you befriend? So you know
the parents,
my niece, like the parents of your like children's classmates. No.
I've met a few of them at birthday parties. Very nice people. It's just, you know, meeting outside of those settings is very hard because everyone's so busy with their children. And I guess most of my friends, for the most part, are all up east. And my close friend group, we all like, I don't know, we were in our 20s together. We entered our 30s together. We all got married around the same time, had kids around the same time. And now our kids are all around the same age. So we have that connection where it's very easy just to like connect and meet up because our friends are friends. But here, you know, even Elise, like, you know, she did struggle acclimating to her new school. So like, just like she did, I guess I'm going through the same thing, but I see that she's thriving now. And I'm thinking, okay, my day will come too, you know, I'm going to make a friend too, you know? So,
the intimacy is so hard because you know, you're talking about your friend group having gone through all these stages of life together. So there's like this intimacy there and it's like hard to like squeeze into a new group of people who you probably have that there right with other people. Can I also just mention really quick, I really am glad that you brought this up because I think that this is a common feeling that a lot of people have when they are moms too, because I feel like, you know, people don't really think that outside of like the roles that you're meant to do, you're supposed to have this other part of your life that's fulfilling. Like they think you're gonna have like a spouse and like coworkers and your children, and that should be enough or something like that. Like I think a lot of people don't realize that you do need like that like other part of your life, you know, to be fulfilled.
Yeah, friendships are very important, and that's something that I've realized recently. I mean, I've always appreciated my friendships, but even more so like what they bring to the table. I guess what I'm missing is I just reminisce about those times where we had our dinner gatherings and just laughing about everything and nothing and just joking and being able to confide in them. I mean, yes, I have my parents nearby, but it's totally different. Like conversations are different and the whole dynamic is different. And that's the part that I think I'm just maybe that's the void. So that means it's
Wow.
time for me to fly up to New York and see my friends.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
all of this is yeah, I mean, it's exactly what you just said, Youngmi. It's like from what it sounds like, Jess, it's, you know, you're just the daughter, you're just the wife, you're just the mother, but you're not satiating that part of like you, Jess, just as Jessica.
Yes.
And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Damn. Well, if you can't visit, I have to. I'm long overdue for a visit, so I'll make sure to bring that New York energy when I
Awesome. We're
come
counting
visit.
down, Brian.
Oh, well, you know, this is a Mother's Day themed episode, and we had a couple questions that you know, Youngmin had a couple questions for you, and I guess let's just jump right into it. The first one is, what is something that has surprised you about motherhood?
How much I've become my mother. And I never thought I would say this because I was such a rebellious teenager. Like Brian was the golden child. Like he obeyed, he was obedient, made great grades, you know, he was the good kid. And I was truly the black sheep growing up. Like I was the one talking back and, you know, I mean, if I broke curfew, I was the one like, you know what, if I'm going to break curfew, I'm just not going to come home until 5 a.m. I was that kid.
Wow.
So I was so bad. And I remember I would think to myself, like, there's no way that I'll ever become like my parents and be as strict as them. I'm going to be the cool mom, etc. And now that I am a mother, oh my gosh, I've become a carbon copy of my mom. Truly.
Oh my gosh.
And it's shocking.
Wait, how do you feel about? Well, I know you just said it was shocking, but like, do you see yourself doing things that your mom used to do, and you were like you hated?
I mean, I say the same things to my just what my parents said to me. I say the same things to my kids. I mean, it's like as if it was conditioned in me, and it just comes out, and I catch myself. I'm like, whoa, that just sounded like mom, or that just sounded like dad, or my mannerism. You know, and I can't stop it. I don't know it until after, or maybe, you know, I just pause and I'm like, whoa, I'm mom. Like I become mom, you know?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, but I want to wait. So you say you can't stop it?
No, I can't. I just get caught. I get caught in the moment of parenting, you know, whatever situation it may be. You know, maybe I'm giving advice or telling my oldest, the 7-year-old, because my 2-year-old doesn't really know what's going on. So it's usually my 7-year-old that we're parenting now. You know, she's at the age where she's understanding things, and we're trying to teach her life lessons. And the things I say to her is exactly what mom and dad said to us.
Wow.
So do you think it's just, okay, you know, obviously with every parent, like there are like positive and negative aspects of all of our parents, you know. And are you saying that you're mimicking the positive aspects, but are you also recognizing there's like negative aspects where you're like, man, that really hurt me when I was growing up, but fuck, I'm doing the same thing now?
I mean, I'm human.
I wouldn't know.
I'm human. I'm sure there's negative aspects in there, you know, that probably hurt me. And I don't know what it is. I can't stop it. I can't explain it, and I can't stop it.
Oh my God.
And
honestly, I'm listening to you and I'm like kind of spiraling, because I'm like, I think this is also true for me, but I'm so in denial that I've been like, there's no way I would be like my mom. And now I'm like sitting here like, I do this thing where I feel like my mom did this thing where she was just super nice, like, and just like didn't, like, she would ask me to do stuff and like just like was not pushing me at all, and then I wouldn't listen to her, and then the last minute she would like yell like yum yeah, like that. And I do that all the time, and it was like traumatizing for me as a kid. And now I'm like, oh my God, I do the same. Because I'm I'm always like, Nino, it's time. Like, I'm like, okay, we're gonna go to school in 30 minutes. And then,
Yeah.
like 20 minutes later, he's like, doesn't have his pants on or something, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly it. That is.
And I feel like there's like a better way to do it. Like, here, okay, let's do this together, something like that. It's just like nice, extreme anger. Like,
Well, I think Korean parents are naturally kind of, I mean, they're very like intense. And it's not by choice. Like the immigrants, they came here and they worked really hard. And so they had very limited time to raise us. And so they are a little bit more intense than, maybe white parents who are very chill. And I've noticed that too. Like, I'm not chill. I am also intense when it comes to certain parenting moments, And what's funny is I see my mom now as a grandmother, the roles have reversed because now she is like the coolest, chillest grandmother. And she tells me like, hey, why don't you like, calm down a bit. I'm like,
relax.
What? Like, I'm sorry, but you are not chill being my mom, So don't think that you've always been this like chill person,
How
it's
dare
really
you?
funny. Like both our parents are like that. They're like, Jess, you're being too hard. I'm like, am I really though? Like, I think it's funny because this is how you were to me, but I think you just forgotten,
That's so funny.
Well,
Wait.
I like, yeah.
Sorry, go on, Youngmi.
No, I was like, well, I was gonna say I like how they're like, hey, why don't you relax? And you're like, you were so mean to me.
Wait, you mentioned that you somewhat recently you moved back to be closer to mom and dad.
Yes.
Do you think the proximity has, like, I guess, accelerated this synthesis of you? Like, do you notice that you're becoming more like mom because of the proximity? Or
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like everything is just at warp speed now because I mean, I see them almost daily, which I'm very thankful for, but definitely. Like they have more of an impact and more of a say of our daily, activities and stuff. So.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess that's such a funny response. Also, I didn't even know that mom and dad were capable of prescribing advice to be more chill. But it's funny.
Oh, absolutely.
So funny.
Oh, you have to see them when you come here. They're the ones telling me like, you really need to calm down. I'm like, what? I mean, this is. I mean, you were not like this when we were growing up.
Yeah. Well.
Wait, can I say something about being like my mom though? I have to say, my mom is like a great mother in a lot of ways. She's like really loving and wonderful. And we're going to hear from her on this episode. But there are like things that I think, I don't think there's anything wrong with becoming like your parents at all. Like I think it's natural. I think there are certain things that I was like, I like noted and I was like, I do not want to do this. Absolutely. And I made sure that I didn't do those specific things to my son. But like for the most part, she was like really great. And I think it's, it's like, it's not a bad thing. I don't know. I know a lot of people are afraid of becoming like their parents, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
I completely agree, Youngmi. And if anything, one part that I, like you said, I made note of is make sure to, check in on how my 7-year-old is feeling. And that's something that I make sure that I'm like really checked in on how her emotional state is. So if she comes home and she's like, oh, this person wasn't very nice to me, I'll make sure to like sit down and really hear her out and let her have her say. And I think that's something our generation is able to bring as parents, because we are able to relate with them because we went through the same things going to school in America. And so, no, I don't think it's bad being like our parents, but you know what? We're just like a glorified version of our parents where we have a little mix of both cultures, like the really Korean side of it. And also we're very Americanized and we can relate to any of the obstacles that our kids are going to, I guess, confront when they're going to school here.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess, this naturally leads us to our next question. And has being a mother changed your perspective of our mom, Jess?
um, definitely. So I just want to throw this out there because I know mom's probably listening. Mom's great. She's a great mom. She's so supportive, etc. But growing up, the way I saw mom growing up was she was to me an authoritarian. Like she was
Yeah.
someone who told me how I should act, what's right, what's wrong, what's good for me, what's bad for me. That's strictly just how I saw her. I never even
Yeah.
processed that, she may be a person herself with feelings because
Mm.
I was so caught up with
Yeah.
my feelings and like thinking, oh, this is so unfair that,
Mm-hmm.
mom won't let me do this. And I was just a kid. So I was very self-consumed
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
immature. And after becoming a mother, as you know, young me, like motherhood is like this not so secret club, but once you're in it, like all mothers kind of can join together and relate and share stories. And after joining this club of motherhood, I don't know, for the first time, I started seeing mom as a person. Like she has
Mm.
feelings and she also has a story. And, just say that I was immature because I was really immature. And now I see mom and I don't see her as that authoritarian. I see her as a person and she has bad days just like me. She's entitled to complain just like me. Like I just really we've become closer. And I guess in a way, it's like peeling back, like the onion skins. There's so many layers to her. And I'm starting
Mm.
to learn all those different layers. And, we definitely have a more intimate relationship where it's more of a women to women relationship as opposed to like mother daughter relationship.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I've
Mm.
really appreciated since becoming a mother, that it's given me that, I guess, ability to see mom that way.
Yeah. I mean, I always hear people say that, like, oh, you're gonna. Well, my parents would say that to me. They'd be like, once you have kids, you're gonna understand.
Yeah.
And I don't. Yeah. I feel like. How do I feel about that? I definitely understand. I think for some reason I went through this whole process of seeing my mom as a human being earlier on because I think there were, we had like kind of a rough relationship and I was like, I had to see her as human to sort of understand, like all these problems that I had with her. But yeah, I think after having a kid, I understood her feelings a lot more and how stressed out she was, I think. Because it's like she was just so stressed when I was a kid. And I was like, man, I like totally understand. I have one kid and I'm like losing my mind,
Definitely. So, yeah.
Damn.
It's hard.
And
I have a plant. And I have 2 plants, okay?
Yeah,
Busy mom.
God, motherhood's hard. And, young me,
Yeah.
our moms are badasses because they are immigrants. They had no resources. Like they were on total survival mode and raising us. And I see that. And then I see who I am now. Like I have all these resources. And when I think about it, I'm like, like now I see, I'm like, mom's a badass, and she like made everything like running, like everything, like to like survival mode, like, business and raising us, taking us to all our activities, like everything, like she did it all.
Yeah.
And so when I do feel like the days where like motherhood is just completely breaking me down, I think of mom then and I'm like, she did it. Like, shut up, Jess. Just come on, keep fighting through. You can do it too, So she certainly is a source of strength for me right now.
Damn. No, I mean, I have the same. I've come to the same realizations too, just with mom and dad getting older, and me like, being away and getting older too. But seeing you raise Elise and Ollie, and you've been very vocal to me, obviously as siblings, about like the hardships of being a mom. And I lived with you for a bit when I first moved to New York, and I saw firsthand like, holy fuck, like parenthood, this is insane. Like your first 3 years are just obliterated. You don't sleep, and this is wild. But I never saw, growing up, I never saw mom in that way, because being a mom just felt like a given. That was just a constant, like, oh, your mom, that can't be hard. There's no feeling attached to it. It's just the state of life. Like, you're mom, you're the authority figure. That's a condition of being. But yeah, I get the sentiment where you're like, mom was really fucking badass, because for one, like, mom, we never saw her complain or show any like weakness. And in some ways it does make me a little bit sad, because she's human too, and she feels all those same things. And her, like, as an immigrant, like, her resource pool is more limited than what we have afforded to us now. But it's she went through the same shit, but she's human too. But yeah, I definitely took that for granted, like growing up in the same house of, you're just mom, that's it.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Give me
being
food.
Fucking mean right now. Fuck you. Like, you're not letting me do this.
Exactly.
That's it. Yeah. And Brian, that's such an interesting thing that you brought up, because you you obviously knew your sister before she had kids, and then seeing that shift of before and after, and now and then for you, like that's how you shifted looking at your mom, like, oh, like there was a before this. Where
oh, of course. I mean, it's totally naive and ignorant of me, but I'm not afraid to think that a lot of people will feel the same as I do. They're just these, and growing up with them, I had so many like negative emotions surrounding them. I think particularly maybe, and I get it now, it's just a proxy of it's just contextual, and it's just the function of being an immigrant parent. Like, your time is more finite. You're working every day, and so you don't have as much time to like devote to parenting in a wholly, like, holistic and empathetic way. Like, there's so many other plates you have to keep spinning, that I get that mom and dad are like, this is right, this is wrong, like, just do this. As opposed to like, really, like, come on, like, I have all night, like, let's unpack this and really sit down and tell me how you're feeling about this.
No, they were we had to be very efficient when it came to parenting. I think as immigrant parents.
Yeah. So
and also I think a lot of people are not great at parenting, whether they're immigrants or not. You know what I mean? Like, I have a lot of people that, I mean, not that our parents aren't great at, do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of other reasons that people kind of fall short. So
yeah, but damn, well, I think that's what was I gonna say? But yeah, Jess, that basically wraps up our section of the pod with you. How'd that feel?
It felt good. Thanks so much. No, it felt nice, because I mean, I think this is the first time like someone's ever asked me. Like, I think as you know, as a mother, like, you're constantly on the go and you're constantly thinking about your kids. This was really refreshing to be able to like talk about my feelings with you guys. It's like the first time in a while.
Oh, well,
that's so great. And
yeah,
and I'm really glad to talk to you, because I really liked hearing your perspective, in relationship, because I think a lot of people have feelings about their parents, and it's really nice to hear from somebody that discuss how those emotions shift.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great seeing you guys.
Yeah, and for our listeners out there, if you want to write a message to Jess or have her read it, send us a DM, and I'll definitely be sure to forward it to my sister. And
maybe if anyone wants to be friends that live in West Texas, let us know.
I'm here.
Let us know.
If you have a little dinner party. Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks again, Jess, and say bye to everyone.
Bye. Happy Mother's Day.
Bye.
Whoa, we have a very special guest for this part of our episode, Youngmi.
Yeah, this is a very extremely special guest. This is like me just being very candid. When I was getting ready, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I like gained weight, and I was like stressing out about that. And then I was like, wow, this is interesting. We're meeting the source of that anxiety in me.
Oh gosh, your words, not mine. I think our guest is very lovely, actually, although I met them 5 minutes ago. But yeah, listeners, we got your help with this episode because we fielded submissions from you all, and we asked you, what is a conversation that you wish you could have with your mother? And we've received so many thoughtful responses, an overwhelming amount. It was probably the highest amount of participation we've ever had on any of our Instagram stories. And, it was, of course, like, we're limited on time, and if we could, we would get to all of them. But Youngmi and I, we basically took the most common submissions, the common responses, and we outlined our episode based on the most popular questions you all had for your own mothers.
Yeah, we asked what you want to ask your mom, if you could ask your mom anything. And basically, my mom is here to answer your questions. I guess I'll introduce her. On part 2 of this episode, this very special Mother's Day episode, I have my mother, Ippun Mayor.
Celebrity
Hello.
of the podcast.
Mom, your name, Ippun, can you tell us about your name?
Yeah, oh, this is kind of a long story, but I will tell you, okay? I'm youngest kid in my family, and I have 5 brothers and 1 sister. And I'm youngest baby, so my father was so excited, so he went to City Hall to put my name on. Actually, my real name is Sumi. And my father his friend worked for City Hall. They said they are friends, so they went out drink. And he was so drunk, he forgot to put my name on there. Okay, he came back home. So that's what mom told me. And the City Hall guy, he said, "Ooh, I forgot to ask, what's his daughter's name." So I from Ippun, which is Ippun means pretty in Korean. Okay, so
Ippun.
he think it's like, oh, youngest one and his daughter after all 5 sons. So I think I'm gonna put on Ippun. So that's how my name became an Ippun. So when I went to elementary school, they're supposed to call me my real name, Sumi, and nobody called me. And I said, what's happening? And I found out my name was Ippun. My teacher called Ippun. My last name is you Ippun. And nobody came out, but everybody started laughing. Who is mostly really pretty? They look around and nobody came. That was the story that I found out. All my school time, everybody called my name.
That's
because
so funny.
Pretty, hi, pretty.
And I think for people who don't speak Korean, they don't understand how like country bumpkin-y that sounds. Ippun, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Do you like the name Ippun?
Oh, when I was a kid, I hate because everybody laugh and they always call they kind of when who walk by me, they say Ippun, but when I have a job and people never forget my name, so that's good part though.
That's true.
I love that story.
This is so funny. What would be the English equivalent, Ippun? It would be like cutesy bootsy or something like that.
It'd be like cute.
Yeah, right.
Cutie
It's
mayor.
kind of funny.
Yeah, my mom is the maknae, which is last youngest child, and my mom is also a Leo, so you already know what we're gonna get into, listeners.
Oh gosh.
So, Mom, we wanted to start by asking you. We asked the listeners for questions that they wanted to ask their moms, and they can't. The first question that I have is actually a composite of a lot of the questions that we got, because we got a lot of questions. Or a lot of submissions from listeners saying that they wanted to ask their moms about their lives before they were born. I want to read one just like to show like the one that I thought was really good. Somebody asked, I wish my mom would be able to tell me who she really is, what her dreams were before she got married and immigrated here. I'm not sure she would even have an answer to this. So I guess the interesting thing is when I saw a lot of people asking that, I'm also in the same boat. Like I don't know a lot about your life before you had me, before you know, like when you were single. And so I wanted to ask you, Mom, like what was your life like in Korea? Like what was it like?
What were your dreams?
Yes.
Your dreams.
Like when I was kid in this country, Korea was quite poor, you know. Like I born in 1955, up to 1960 and 70, still quite poor, you know. Have each my friends has like 10 brothers, you know, or you know, last family. Like for example, my family has like 7 sons and 2 daughters. My mother has. But other family have like 12 kids, 13 kids in each family. And that time is most people's job was farmer. So it was quite poor, but it was a very big family live together, you know, even though the first son marry and they stay was, you know, mother and father and have children. So it's like 13 to 15 family easy, you know. Anyway, so my house was the last from school. So most whole town kid came to my house first, you know, and we get together and went to school. But our room is not that big, and we have a table and try eat, and they round the wall, you know, how about 30 kids try watching we are eating, you know. We were eating, so I was kind of shy, you know, and we went to school together. You take maybe 20 minutes from here, you know, walk to school together. And we were very poor, and that time we have very hard to find ice cream or candy or cookie, you know, maybe once, twice, or, you know, one time can have, you know, somebody could buy. And so usually we ate like, you know, sweet potato. You know, we can make an ice cream with the sweet potato. Usually we can put on outside winter time and the sweet potato, and we start eating it. We call ice cream, okay?
Frozen raw sweet potato.
Yeah. Sweet potato is frozen, really cold. You know, and we start it and we say, this is ice cream, you know, it's good ice cream, you know, we call. And we went to school, and everybody follow us, say, can I buy? You know, it was that poor. That
sweet potato.
You know, it was really poor. And we have a really simple, cheap shoes, you know, like rubber shoes. And it's like a little bowl shape. It's called gomushin. And the snow get into my feet, okay? It's get cold, even though you wear socks, get wet, and by the time we went to school, it's really cold. Okay, my feet cold, you know, I remember.
Wait, Mom, are you telling us I had to walk 20 miles to school in the snow with no shoes story? The classic parent story.
Maybe you have a hard time to understand, but it was, everybody does, you know.
Yeah.
So I was lucky. I'm very close to somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, some kid walked 1 hour. to school, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And,
These are the founding fathers of Korea, though. We have to give it up to them for doing that and helping.
And
Mom, Mom, wait. I want to, but I kind of want to ask, because I'm very interested in your childhood, but I think I want to ask about like your life and your thoughts. 무슨 말인지 알겠지, 엄마? Like, 엄마 꿈 when you were like a young person, like 20살 때, like teenager.
I never told you my dream because when I was a kid, I want to become a singer. Okay, when I was 17.
True Leo.
Okay, and we gather in front yard, and we stand up on the chair and start saying, you know, I want to become a singer, so I sang.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Mom,
So
you've never told me that.
I didn't.
You've
I
never
didn't people.
told me that.
All my friends know about that because they in front of me, they watching me, and I hold the bottle or spoon or something. I start, you know, saying, you know, really loud, you know.
Were you
first
known
dream.
as a good singer in school?
I think so, but nobody told me though. my teacher said I'm a good singer, but I really enjoy it. I mean, I'm different than other kids because when I sang a song, it was that's what I think. I thought I very similar as a singer, you know. It was my first dream when I was a kid, very young kid.
And then, what were some of your other dreams? Did you realize that maybe you couldn't become a singer, and then?
Of course,
I want to know. Yeah. No, I want to know the dreams as like a young, like in your early 20s. I'm not joking. That made me a little emotional. I like never heard that part of my mom's life. That's like.
Yeah, I never actually told anybody. I was so young, and it was, you know, first dream, you know. Of course, the second one is, you know, after I met the first grade teacher, and I said, oh, I want to be a teacher too, you know. I said, oh, I think teacher is really fun job, you know. Teacher looks neat, you know, that time.
Yes.
I was teacher all days because my class has like 55 kids in our class, okay? And he had to control, he or she had to control 50 kids. It's very hard.
Oh, so
You're
difficult.
Hungry for power.
Have to be mean teacher. So somebody said one word, okay? Right away they, you know, judge it because otherwise, you know, think about 50 kids, you know, start talking, you know.
Yeah. So Mom, after you grew up and you were older, before you got married, when you were single living in Korea, like what were your ideas about like the future? Like what did you want to do as an adult?
Actually, then after high school, I don't know what should I do, you know. Actually, very hard to find your job, or I really hesitate what should I do and what I want to do, you know, because I discovered there are many small people, rich people, you know, a lot of, you know, they have a lot of talent. It looks like I don't know, I have talent.
Yeah.
So I kind of, you know, really depressed that time. I think that's why young kid, and they don't know what to do, you know, future, worry about future, you know, and what kind of job I gonna have. But it's very hard to, especially that time, you know, they pay very little money, like $3,000, $3, you know, 3,001 a month, and a regular job if you get it. So
$3,000, 3,001 a month, $3 a month.
Yes, normal people, like if you work for factory something, like, you know, 5,000, 6,000, that was big money because don't forget, gum, one pack of gum that time, I think like 1 cent, you know.
Yeah.
we have a hard
So
time.
Mom, I think that's really interesting what you just said, because I think that it's interesting because a lot of your thoughts in your life mirror mine. And I remember thinking when I was like in my early 20s, I was like very depressed because I was like, oh, all these other people are successful and like I don't even know what I'm gonna do and I'm so lost. And that feeling of being lost in your 20s is like, on top of that, you're living in a place that, it was like, after the war, it was like a very economically depressed country where you're getting $3 a month. I think that's like really relatable. So then
Wow.
what was the what's the process of
Sorry, I just wanted to add that I'm similar to you, Ngayangmi, where I've never heard self-doubt from my parents in that way, where feeling unsure. My parents, very similar. It sounds very similar to your story, too, because my parents were both very poor, and after they graduated from high school, it became survival. And I think for my mom especially, she's very open about how she didn't really know, like, she had dreams as a child, but for her it was more about, I need to survive, I need to make money. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what it is. I'm just going to work very hard and make money. But I've never heard, I'm sure my mom is human. I'm sure she had self-doubts and insecurity. And, in my early 20s, I had a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, and I just felt so unsure about my future. But I felt very guilty because, my parents worked very hard and they provided a comfortable life for me in America. And I didn't have to worry about that as much as my mom did about, like, what am I going to do for money? And, like, because my parents worked hard to provide that for me, and I didn't have to worry about food in the same way. And so I felt, I tell my parents, like, oh, I feel like unsure and insecure, and they would be like, what are you talking about? Just like, you have it so easy, you have so many choices. But no, for hearing that from you, it's it's unique. It's something it's making me rethink how I look at my parents.
Because a lot of people see our parents as like, their lives seem so different because they're like, we're struggling and we're trying to survive. But the truth is, like, what my mom just said is, like, I think what everyone feels when you're like, everyone knows the feeling of when you're like 20 and you want to be a singer, but then there's like all these other people that are rich and like they're going to college, and you're like, I think that's like, it's really interesting how you tied those together. So, Mom, can I say one thing, Mom? Because the other question that we got a lot about the past is your dating life. A lot of people were asking that, saying that their mom never talked about her dating life and like how she felt about getting married and stuff. And I don't know about your dating life before. I have an older sister, and she has a different dad, which is my mom's ex-husband. Before him, I don't know, what was your dating life like?
In Korea, dating life is my age. I mean, that time, 1970 to between 80, That time, dating life is really poor. The people, a lot of people, they actually, when they marry, was set by parents, introduced from friends, because we have to work to survive, And there are many people, I mean, that time is a lot of kids grow up, and there are a lot of people in this country don't have a job, but a lot of people grow up, they want a job. So even though a really bad job, you have hard time, So you have to grab any kind of job to survive. And at that time, and parents also, very poor because they have a lot of children. They cannot help you to, if you don't have a job, you hang out at home. No way, you have to out. They say, at least you don't have to eat at home. That's fine. That's how they feel. So they say, if you finish school, I have a hard time to send to school, so you earn money. If you cannot earn money, don't stay home. You can't stay home, So
Yeah,
most of my friends all out. Doesn't
Mm.
matter where. Factory, and that time very famous factory was wig shop. They make, wig,
Mm.
or
Mm.
a dress shop, which is I start with a dress shop, and in many different place. A
Mm.
lot of
Mom, you worked there. You worked at you never told me any of this. You worked at a
of course,
dress shop and a wig
yeah,
shop.
I work in dress shop. I made, use sewing machine and iron and make, made dress and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Also, uh, I also learn how to speak the English, nighttime. Like when I finish in like 8:30, go to school and learn how speak English, and all those time, like until 11 o'clock. We all have her life, but then I start, people try introduce to me American people to teaching Korean. So connect, if I know one person, I start. There are a lot of people who already study about Korean and professor a language of Korean art. But problem is, if they can speak English, they can teach American to Korean, You keep talk to Korean language to American, they don't understand. So you have to explain with the English with Korean. That's how I start, and that's how I met Richard. And then,
which is my sister's dad.
Yeah. Which is called.
Yeah, who's my sister's dad.
Which is very different custom. I was too young first, 24. I was 24 and I was very young, and I didn't have experience with a date, or not even I thought about marry anything.
Yeah.
That's how I met, and I married with him because I don't even know I love him or not. Okay, very interesting. First thing. Second thing, I thought America is dream. I thought America is a very rich country, which is I can do all different kind job, can make pretty good money and much better life. I thought.
Yeah.
But actually, not true. When I went there, it's a very hard life too.
Wow.
Actually,
my mom's speaking facts.
What made you want to learn English?
Oh, I went to school in countryside. Okay, Tangjin is a very country, 시골, and my teacher taught me English a very different way. Memorize all the time and taste for word all the time, and very hard. So I start say, what was the actually start I interested, and one day I was working in dress shop, and the American couple came. They want to make a dress, and the owner can speak one word of English. I can't either. I was working around there, and they keep saying, I want a long dress one piece, one piece dress. But we use that time one piece, okay? And two piece, one piece, we know already. That's Korean people use that, but the owner couldn't understand. So I told the owner, she wanted one piece, long, long, and the owner thought it's like this. Oh, you speak English very well. I said, everybody know long and two piece and one piece.
Right.
She said, oh my God. And she pushed me outside and help her, make me help them. So I help them to make it a few dresses. That time when they order like 5 sets, a whole bunch, because Korea is very cheap level. So that's how I help them. Then owner asked me, every time if foreigner come, you should come out and help them. I said, okay, that's a good idea. So I start thinking, I have to talk, I have to learn how to say. So that's how I start.
Wow.
Mom, I don't You know what's so interesting about this, Mom? Like, I think that what I love about you, obviously a lot of things because you're my mom, but is your personality. Like, you have such a unique personality, and like you're so outgoing, and it sounds like that was how you kind of came out of this life, because you have a very interesting life, and your life isn't like anyone else, like that was in your community. And it seems to me that it was like your personality. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, obviously you knew English better than the owner of the shop, but you're also very dynamic, and you're not scared to talk to people. You have a lot of confidence in that way. And what I'm seeing here is that is what sort of like propelled you into this life. Do you know what I mean?
I believe so. I think I'm very positive thinking. Positive thinking. And no matter what.
What? I don't know about positive. I'm just kidding.
Thank you. I remember I always say you wrong things.
So, Mom, this is okay. So you don't have any dating stories, or are you just trying not to tell me the dating story? Yahan, Yagi, like
we have
no Korean. Yeah, who are you? Like, you don't want to say anything? You don't have to say anything if you don't want to.
No, I don't have any date. I mean, I never date.
Is it because Dad's sitting in the same room? Dad, leave.
No, Dad is not here, but
okay.
He doesn't care. He really doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's a very open-minded guy. Yeah.
What does it?
But I don't have a serious love story. Oh,
okay.
I have one. Though I have one, but most of them it was a long time ago. So I thought it's fall in love, but it's a puppy love. I think now I don't even love, but I usually like somebody very much in my hometown. But I don't think he liked me. He married with other person, and you know.
Whoa. So in our generation, we get ghosted, but back then, your crush would marry a whole other woman. Or
well, that's interesting, because I feel like maybe so you were saying that you didn't feel like you were in love when you married my sister's dad, Richard. You just were like, well, I guess I'll go to the States or something.
Actually, he's not my type. First thing, very shy. He's very shy. He can't drink, he can't smoke either, and he's very shy and read a book all day long, and
wow.
When we date
sounds like me.
Walk in Seoul, and he can't say too much word,
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, even stay all day long together at home, not much to say. So I was curious. Yeah. Of course, I can speak English, very well. I can, so maybe that's why. I don't know.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Well, okay, so I think we should move on to the next question, which is I just threw this in here because I thought it would be a good follow-up. Because my mom and I were very close. We tell each other a lot of stuff. Mom, what do you want to know about me? But obviously she just told me all this stuff and I never heard it before. Is there anything that you want to know about me, Mom, that you are curious about?
I thought I know you, pretty much since you were a baby. I know about you. You are very cute and always happy kid, I really surprised when you told me, you say, Mom, I'm going to divorce. I said, oops. I say, I want to ask you, I really want to ask you, it's not that easy, especially when you have a kid, because I through that. So, and alone in America with kid, it's not easy to me, but I know you can handle, but I said, that's not easy. I worry more because at least you have a husband. I kind of, I don't have to worry too much, but you alone with a kid, I start worrying, So I want to ask you, what is really problem with that, but I didn't ask you because I don't want to hurt you because you.
Oh, with my marriage, the divorce.
Yeah.
You mean
What
why
was
I got
the
divorced?
problem? Because I thought Danny's pretty nice guy, you know, compared to.
He's a nice guy.
Okay.
Compared to who?
Compared to your dad or my ex-husband, Danny is good father.
Okay.
Good husband.
Okay, so
Good crew.
that's a good question. I guess that's a good question. There is nothing wrong with Danny. Danny's one of my closest friends. He's such a nice guy. But I think I kind of relate to you in the way that when I got married, I don't know why I got married. Like I really, I just thought I was supposed to get married.
I understand totally.
And I was also scared of
that was I first married. I thought that too. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. That's So that's why I got married, and I feel like later on I realized that wasn't the reason to get married. And I'm not even sure if I want to be married. And I was like, as I got older, bless you, I was like, what is it that I want from my life? And I was like, so I think the question isn't even like why we got divorced. It's more like, I think we shouldn't have been married. And it was just, we're really good friends. He's a nice person. There's nothing, because I remember my mom asked me when we got divorced, like, oh, like, he doesn't hit you and he has a job. Like, why are you getting divorced? Like, he has a job. He doesn't have a gambling addiction. Like, why are you? But I just think that it just wasn't like a right fit. And I think it was, for Danny, I think he wasn't really understanding why either. But a few years later, I think he did understand, and we're both a lot happier now.
I'm glad. I can tell you are very happy now, so I'm kind of understand why you did, because I remember when you were married, you were not happy at all. All the time is crying. So
and it wasn't like because Danny is bad or anything. It's just because like I don't think I was like meant to be married, and
I totally understand. Because I was same problem, because after I married, have a first child, I feel like I'm stuck in there. And I don't have any freedom, and I can't do anything. I want to do a lot of things, so I kind of understand. After I saw you are very happy after a little while, so then I understood.
Oh. Compared to when Youngmi was a child, and when you raised her and you described her as being very happy, and seeing her now doing the work that she does, living in New York, doing comedy for so many people, and you see her videos on the news, does that surprise you? Like, what does that make you feel?
No, not surprised at all, because I sent several pictures to Youngmi today. When she was little, she was comedian. When she was a kid, every time we took picture, she never have a normal face. I'm Youngmi gonna show you that picture sooner or later.
I'll show. And I'll post it on the post when we post the episode.
And every time we try to take picture, she make a dozen different face. First thing, okay, and really, and she's very different than other people. She when she was in school, she was also leader of. She was a volleyball team.
That's not true. My mom always says I was a leader. I was not a leader.
Yo, I'm on the edge of my seat. I want to hear the story.
Huh?
Mom, I was the worst player on my volleyball team. I was in the varsity volleyball team. I did make it. I was that good, but I was like the worst of the best. The worst of the best.
I can tell you
one of the 12.
I can tell you one thing you did always. The best thing was serve. She's left-handed.
We're talking volleyball now. We're talking volleyball. That is not true, Mom. That is a fake memory. I was not good at serving. I was very bad at it.
I was there. I'm watching, because you know what she did? she used left handing. Okay, left hand is always weak, you know. So when she hit the
I'm
ball,
left-handed.
the ball looks like it go very far. So everybody prepare for backup, okay? But the ball always is down in middle of, before end. Will ball go up like a put, so nobody can, guess the ball. That's why you were best server, I think. You remember, I'm volleyball team too, so I know. Don't tell me.
I feel like this is projecting.
A
This is my mom projecting.
A mother's love knows no bounds, Youngmi. She's taking your weakness, a weak serve, and turning it into a strength.
She was like, no, that was good because everyone thought it was going to go far, but it didn't. And that surprised everyone. And that was good.
That was good.
Well, okay. Well, I want to move on to the last portion of the questions.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a lot of questions from the listeners, and I'm just gonna ask you the questions directly. Okay, Mom, you ready?
Yeah, I'm not the best answer person, but I am mom as same as maybe their mom, part of it.
Yeah. I think it'll just be nice. It'll be cathartic for them to hear. Maybe it's kind of like a surrogate thing, like, okay, so the first question is, this is very emotional. What is the conversation you wish you could have with your mother if she was with us now? My grandmother passed away when I was 2, so she is no longer with us. What would you?
I
say?
have so many things to say, but make a short story is. I want to apologize. I couldn't spend more time with her because I have 2 kids. I was stupid young, very busy, meeting with friends, all those party, or maybe, all after daddy, daddy always go out and he asked me go together and stuff. But anyway, I didn't spend, even though that time I live in Korea, I didn't visit too often, you know what I mean? I visit like once a month, but not too much time I spend. That is the regret part. And I wish I spent more time with her, and we could talk and we could be really a lot of enjoy we could do, that is sad part. And of course I didn't know she gonna die that fast, a lot of way, and when I was 33, she died after 6 days. She been sick and she died a lot of way. So I was surprised, surprised. So I want to tell your friends, please try, even though, because you're going to regret someday, when you become in your mother's age, you start thinking about your mom. Okay. So try spend time with your mom, or try call, Sometimes mother want to call daughter, but mother start thinking, oh, she's going to be busy. Maybe she work and she have a kid, So mother even wants to talk. They just wait for they call, So try call or spend some time, more time,
What's like one thing you would say to your mom, just like something that you wanted to tell her? I know you said you wanted to apologize, but like something about you yourself, or that she
I want to tell you about grandma. Okay, mom. My mom is very that part is very lazy. She like take a nap all the time. She lay down and okay, that's good. I mean that's her, okay? I told you when I went to school and come back like at 2:00, and it was very cold feet, a cold hand, winter time. I remember at that time in Korea, very cold. And she lay down aremok, which is the warm part. Next to the kitchen is always warm. And she lay down there. And when I come home, she hold my hand and she put it in her chest. My hand is very cold. Okay. And she put on chest, I remember. She put it in her belly and chest, make my hand is very warm. I never can forget that. And she's really good mother. When before I go to school, she comb my hair very tight, hold, tied up like ponytail and stuff. She always sit down and take the time and comb my hair. I remember that part when I was like 6 years old. And so I have a really good memory. And I have one bad memory, which is junior high school, okay? We go to field trip, but my mom didn't send me. I think she doesn't have money, but she doesn't say, because she has pride, so she doesn't say. So she say, you cannot go. So I didn't go. So I keep asking mom, I want to go. And she started that time. All days she fire with making rice, and she got a stick with take care of fire, which is fujikengi. And she hit me with that. She followed me like I took ran out outside, and she came out all the way outside, and I start right there, start cry, and she turn around and come back, and I follow, and I start, I want to go. I remember that memory, and it's I was so stupid, I think now, because she hurt more than I was, I think, think about you, how you feel. You have parents, you can send field trip your child. Yes, so that's really sad, right?
I don't think anyone should hit their kid, but I also know that I feel like the times when I was a kid and you were like screaming at me and stuff, Mom, like I feel like in those times maybe you were feeling stressed out, so I understand that feeling, The next question is, I'd like to ask her if she was happy about how her life turned out so far.
Who? My mom? Me?
Well, this person wants to ask their mom, but we're gonna ask you.
Yeah, actually life is, you don't have to depressed or sad or, I really, I was sad and depressed when I was young. I tried to do something, it's never worked that way. For example, my husband never listened to me. All kind of looks like messed up, and because think about, he from all the way America, I from deep country in Korea. We have different culture, different custom, different food, different language. So Korean custom, Korean people, they always save money and buy house and buy land, and becoming farmer, all those kind. They always told, my parents told me, so I always start thinking like I have to save money and my house someday and stuff.
Yeah.
But daddy, okay, my husband always say, we save money, he say he want, we should go to Hong Kong, we travel, 3 days, he plan, So I say, okay, I think that's a good idea. But I start thinking like, I wish we save money someday so we can settle down, that's most of women thinking, right? So there was, so people shouldn't worry about because not it happened. Because your husband or your wife is not have the same idea or same thinking. It's not that bad, I've been through, I think it's not that bad. And I think most happy time was when you were born and you were a baby and your sister, and they laughing and giggle and they watch TV together and all night scary movie and they scream, those memory is really, that time was, I think, the best time in my life.
That was your happiest. Well, the next question was, tell me the times you were truly happy. So you think those are the happiest times of your life, when me and my sister were kids?
Yes, the best time, and now is my second best time. Second time happiest one. You know why? Because you and young man in Korea left. Now I'm free. Because no more make lunch and dinner, and make a whole bunch of burrito. You remember? On and off. Okay.
I remember the burritos.
Now, chicken burrito. Okay. Now, I have my free time. The your father, Roger's best part is he give me free. Anytime even I come home late, he never say anything. Or I say I meet my friend, he say, okay, go out, have a good time, you know. He never say, you come home and cook dinner for me, like most Korean husband. They really like it. They have to cook 3 times all my friends, right? And Roger, they I mean, he eat once a day or sometimes not, you know. Sometimes he doesn't eat few days. So I really free. Okay. So now I learn how to swim. I go to marathon. I go to gym. I'm so busy. I'm working. I'm teaching. Or I'm so busy, and I'm very enjoy now. So it's the best part. Is I'm very free time. You know.
Yeah.
And you mentioned. I was going to go into our next question, Youngmi. Is that cool?
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you mentioned that your marriage to your husband now is different from, because you have a lot of independence, you have a lot of free time, and you know your husband Roger lets you do that. And you made a joke about how most Korean men expect their wives to come home and cook for them, and you know we received a few questions from people where they wish they could ask their mothers to what it's like to be married to a white man as an Asian woman, and they wish they could explore what's the social structure that led you to make that decision.
Okay, first thing is very good that freedom part.
Yes.
The bad part is communication, because English and Korean, okay, even though I say right word, he say wrong, that means I start thinking, oh, I did wrong, you know, because English is second language, first thing. And sometimes I fight with English and he speak English. I have to say bad word with the English, then I don't feel good to, you know. For example, I say first language, which is Korean, I say bad word to my husband. I feel, oh, I win. But I say bad word with the English, I don't feel that. Do you know that if, for example, if Brian, you speak second language is Korean, if you say bad word because you get angry to Korean, you feel really weird, because I say, so I start when I fight with my husband, I say Korean word, bad word to Korean, then he start laugh. I don't know what to say, but it's funny, you know. So we can fight too deep anyway. So if whoever married with a white man or, you know, American man and foreigner, when you fight, please say bad word with Korean, then you feel better, you know. Yeah, really.
I think,
and then also you don't have to fight longer, because when I say Korean, they don't understand and they start laugh. Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. So I feel like this.
Funny.
I feel like this. The questions we got concerning this were sort of like deep about the racial identity politics, like how you feel as an Asian person with a white person. But the interesting thing about my mom, I think, is like whenever I've had conversations about like identity politics and like how white people see Asian people, my mom is like completely up to date on that sort of ideology because you've lived it. Like I don't want to. What I'm saying is like it's like this like racial identity politics that everyone is like the discourse, right? Like the woke discourse. Like people had to like learn that and like read books on it. But whenever I bring up like a topic to discuss with my mom, she's like, she already knows. She's like, oh yeah, those white people are acting like that. Like my mom will be like, she'll be like, yeah, you know, those white people, like they act like this. And I'm like, how did you, oh, of course, like you lived it. So that's something very interesting that I've noticed. I'm going to move on to the last segment because we're running out of time, Mom.
Okay. I want to say one thing is a bad part of white people because I don't think it's white people. I think my husband is no nunchi, you know, no have any nunchi.
Oh, yeah, my mom's been saying this. No nunchi. Nunchi is like reading the room or like like Dunchi is Korean for like knowing how to act without somebody telling you how to
unspoken
act.
Understanding. You just gotta get it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is a popular saying in Korea that white people don't have dunchi, like they don't
My mom says
understand
that all the time.
it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you
sometimes
wanna give
they
an-
don't have to
yeah.
say what they say. For example, you know, like I drink. Sometimes I and my husband drink maybe a couple shot of soju, and I drink soju. He drink beer, and my brother he say, oh, my wife can drink soju a lot, you know, she can drink soju. My brother start looking at me like, huh?
Yeah.
That's so true. I think it's a big part of it is a cultural difference, but
I think that that's honesty actually.
Yeah, because I think in Americans, they're not it's a good and bad thing. You're not afraid to ask questions and be very direct. But my mom says that about me too sometimes, because I'll just ask questions if I don't know something. But my mom will be like, "Oh, 왜 이렇게 눈치 없어? Like, you don't even need to ask that question. You should just already know it, you know?"
Yeah.
But I realized I changed it too, you know. I walk into with the Korean friends, all Koreans. I have to be careful because, you know, if when I say something, they all look at me like, wow, you know, especially when you go to,
I felt that too.
When you go to church, they say, have lunch. I say, oh, I'm full. I don't want to. They say, how could you, you know? Why not? You know,
I felt that,
I said, you know, but you
I felt that too, Mom.
Yeah.
Like, Korean people will be like, oh, no dunchi 없어. Like, they'll say that to me. And I'm like, shut up. This is how I really feel.
Or even the food you have to eat all the time? What?
Yeah, I'm full. I don't want to eat.
And
Okay, Mom,
sometimes it's opposite.
Yeah.
They say, I'm hungry. When I was hungry, they say, have some lunch. And I start eat. They say, you know, I just say, you know, without true, you know. And
I was just being polite.
I start look around. They say, why she eat? You know, like that kind. So I don't have a nunchi either.
Yeah. I'm tired. I'm too old for nunchi.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do what I want.
Yeah.
You know, maybe the white people are right. The white people were right on this one.
I agree.
Who cares?
I want to feel like
this
that.
is the last. Yeah. So, Mom, this is the last segment. So, a lot of the questions that we got were actual statements where people said that they wanted to say something to their mom, but they couldn't say it. So I just made a list of all the stuff that people sent to us. And I'm going to tell you, and I think what we should do, we should act like you're the surrogate mom for whoever sent these statements. You can pretend that this is your mom, this is your cathartic release.
Sure.
So, Mom, I'm gonna say something to you, and you're gonna act like I'm really saying it, okay? And I want your honest response.
So you're gonna hear it. How does it make you feel? We want to hear your reaction.
Yeah. Okay. If your daughter Yummy said this to you, okay?
Totally.
Your honest reaction. Okay. Number 1, I do a lot of drugs and alcohol.
Okay. My daughter drink a lot of every night soju plus somek and drug. Okay. I'm sure you have a reason to have drug and drink. So deeply think about, you know, what make you somehow sad or somehow disappointed or 우울증 or something. Okay. So
우울증 is depression.
I can say you can't drink, but I want to say it's gonna be. I really worry about your healthy.
What if I said, Mom? What if I said I like drinking a lot and doing drugs, and I don't think there's a problem. I like it. What if I said that?
Okay, if you think it's no problem, but actually the alcohol go into your body, it's gonna hurt your liver.
Wow.
So I hate to see you sick and I'm gonna be very sad if you get sick. So if you can enjoy, have a good time, I agree, because when I was young, I was drink too, but I know how that feel. But I cannot.
Because I think that
but mommy feel like I don't want you to get sick. That's all.
You can. I think the initial statement that they sent said that I wish I could be open to my mom about my drug use and alcohol use. So whoever sent that to us, don't say it to your mom, because she will just.
I'm also, that was a very open-minded response and understanding.
Yeah.
Because
she had to say, if she she cannot put it inside, because someday she gonna regret, and too late maybe then. So she have to tell mother. Even mother say, "What you say? I gonna come kill you." You know, even mom angry. But you have to say that.
Yeah. So you're telling this person that they have to be open to their mom.
Yeah, I wish if my daughter have that problem, I want she tell me. I can't do anything, but I want to know. I like
think
that.
But I feel that a lot of people are too scared to tell their parents this because they're going to be so upset, or they're not going to understand. And
not upset, because give a worry, because I was young. I didn't tell my mom bad part. You know, if I when I get sick, or I went to hospital, I have some operation, I didn't tell my mom. I was in States, right? Because I don't want to her worry. So I think they didn't tell mother because they don't want to disappoint mom or give a worry.
Right.
Because most mom is proud of their daughter, They always think it's the best daughter, because we get together with a school friend. They always told me that my kid is the best, she's success and so happy now. She got 2 kids, I said, oh wow.
If your mom, if your kid said that they did a lot of drugs and they liked it and they drank a lot, would you feel embarrassed in front of your friends?
I don't tell my friends, because I would tell my friends because my friend, no matter what, the bad news around whole world easy. So I won't tell my friend. Okay, I only good thing. That's parents' feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Even though my daughter is ugly, I never say to ugly, or I don't want they say ugly. You know what I mean? To me, it's pretty. That's how mothers feel.
Yeah.
Can I say, Mom? Can I say right now? Okay, this is real. This was obviously not my mom. I have done a lot of drugs in my life.
You did.
I'm telling you.
You did?
I have. Yeah.
I knew.
I've done a lot of drugs.
I knew.
Wow.
You knew. Okay. That was the first time I told my mom that.
Yeah, but I knew.
I don't do drugs now. So sometimes I'll do like gentle
Mom
drugs.
always knows.
I know you drank, and I know you've been drunk sometimes ago.
I stopped drinking.
Not happy.
Yeah.
You weren't happy, maybe that's why.
Wow, everyone. So my mom didn't
always
react in that way.
knows.
Okay, the second one that somebody wanted to say to their mom was, we just got a lot of people saying, I wish I could tell my mom about my dating life because I can't be open about it. So what if I said, so I just wrote this, I said, what if your kid said to you, Mom, I sleep around a lot and I date a lot of people and I have a lot of sex with a lot of casual people? What would you say?
Okay, actually, she's gonna live her own life. She's old enough. First thing.
Wow.
Second thing, if she met a lot of people, she has a reason. For example, Youngmi, if you met really nice person, okay, it's good. There is kunhap. Kunhap means sex together. Sometimes it's not good. Some men, right? But you enjoy each other, and he has a nice, good job and a good looking, a perfect guy. You're not gonna date other person again, right?
Yeah.
Very hard to meet good, nice man or woman nowadays. That's why people keep change. But in the whole world, there is not
Mm.
perfect person you're gonna meet. Like for example, 100 is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
If the person like 60, 70, that's you have to satisfy actually. That's my
You
opinion.
have to settle for 70%.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
my opinion. Okay, if I marry, I say the guy no gamble, no hit me, and no cheating, then I'm not gonna divorce. That's what I second thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Because
Okay,
Wow.
next one. Number yeah.
So,
What
I'm
what
so
what what?
surprised by these responses.
Your mom's
really,
very
Ryan,
understanding.
why?
No, it's I don't know. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's
Maybe
yeah,
she's a
it's
new mom, maybe.
So you're saying
no.
if your kid said that they're dating around a lot, then you would be concerned that they're not meeting good people, because if they met someone good, then they would be like monogamous with them. But I feel like there's some people that like just like being single though.
Yeah, but the bad part is if you keep changing date, then sooner or
Uh-huh.
later you're never gonna satisfy no matter who you're gonna meet. So maybe never settle is okay too, but then I start thinking like my life I always thought about divorce again, but I think it's all men. After 3 months, they're almost 3 years, then almost man is same. So
Or
and nowadays I'm glad I stay still, steady.
or I mean, I think this is more common for people in our generation, but what would you say if your son came to you and said, "Oh, mom, I like to have a lot of sex with a lot of different women, and I only go on 1 or 2 dates, and I get bored of it. I don't want to see them anymore. But I do like having a lot of casual sex with a lot of different types of women. It makes me feel good."
Okay. That's if you want a life like that, if it was my son, I'm gonna say, if you want a life like that, that's okay. But this it's gonna be ending someday. It's gonna be miserable because there's nobody in next to you.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
keep changing someday, you can satisfy anybody because
Mm.
it's becoming habit. Because I saw men like that,
Mm.
especially who stay until like 40, about 10, 20 years single, meet all
Mhm.
different people. They never can settle. They even try, it's not happen. They say
Mm.
they feel very not calm when they stay with one woman, maybe 5 days. They say, "Oh no, I have to change. I have to change."
Mhm.
They're used to, But
Mm.
not that's is not good either, I think. But it's your life, You want to live like that.
Right.
You want to live like until you can have sex, and then you can you're gonna be alone after then. You're gonna be single life, even though
Mm.
lonely or sad and nobody to talking, and every time you come home it's dark, nobody gonna light on for you or wait for you or stuff. So
Mm.
that's
Yeah.
now I think
It's
of it.
yeah,
But
it's true.
that is it's good to you enjoy your whole young time. So
Yeah.
that's okay. I think it's not. It's if you start think that way, is you already have enough satisfied and all time I can be lonely. That's okay.
Okay, so this is the last one that people asked that they wanted to say to their mom. What would you, let's pretend that it's me saying it. I have mental illness. Somebody said I have depression. Somebody said I have PTSD, anxiety. And I want you to acknowledge that it's a real disease and it's not fake. I'm not making it up. If I said that to you, mom, what would you say?
Oh, that is very serious, really, because that case you have to see the doctor first, right? So, mom, if mom live together with daughter or granddaughter, okay, then maybe parents have more patience to listen and try understand. But if your mother is far away, and I think the best thing is to have to see the doctor, okay? Because that's not easy to think, really. You have to seriously think, because I see my neighbor, they have a lot of problem like that. But if my daughter or granddaughter has a problem, I don't feel embarrassed, or, I don't say, what are you gonna do? I don't worry too much. I just give advice, go see the, special doctor.
Huh. See, again, I think you're very open-minded, because I feel that it's a hard thing to admit to your parents, because for one, you don't want to worry them. And I think that parents, maybe they don't want to admit that it's true. Do you know what I mean?
No, but I have to tell parents. I will tell my mom.
But what if? Well, I think there might be a lot of, especially immigrant parents who had their own struggles, and I'm not speaking. I'm just putting a situation in theory. Like, it's if a son goes to their mom and says, "Oh, I have this disorder," well, I imagine that there are parents out there who might say, "No, you don't," or "You're very weak. Why would you think like that?" It's because you think that way. You have that problem, but you need a himne. You need to win it.
I saw Korean people like this. Okay, Korean people like this, because you are weak. First thing.
Right.
Second, because you are 배불러. Because
you're too full.
Means you never been hungry. So you just simple thing to you worry. I saw many of my friends told their kid. So I started saying, oh my God. Oh, that's gonna be bad. I have to be careful, because our generation been through too tough a time. Okay. So, for example, I tell my friend say, hey, when I was 10 years old, when I was a kid, I was always hungry because we ate breakfast late, dinner early, skip the lunch, only rice, and kimchi. And young kids say, why didn't you eat ramen? Hello, at that time, even no have ramen. We have two different parts of thinking.
Yeah.
Nowadays, new generation have very tough time because have more competition in school, and there is a lot of media, SNS. You have too much information and too much complicated, very hard to meet good people and sincere people.
Yeah, I think that's very nice that you are seeing that the modern generation has its own struggles, and that's very nice of you to recognize that. And I feel like, but also I think it's probably going to be very helpful for this person who submitted that statement to hear you say that answer, even if that's not the answer that they're getting from their parent, because all they wanted to hear was for their parent to acknowledge that it's real. So I really think that was probably going to be very great for them to hear your answer. Mom, we're running out of time, so I wanted to tell you the last thing before we go. I have a surprise for you for Mother's Day. I'm coming to Korea.
Oh my God, when?
July. I'm going to be there for 1 month.
Okay. I thought Mother's Day. I said, oh
no, not I'm going tomorrow. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
I wish.
May 8th is Korean Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to go in July with Mino. So we'll be
great. Oh, nice. How nice.
Yeah.
In July, Mino, Sprite Mother's Day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad is here.
That's my dad. Okay. So anyway, That was it,
Wow.
Brian. I know Brian has to go.
Okay.
That was amazing.
I mean, this was such an amazing experience, and I just want to say thank you for being a part of this podcast because and being so open and for sharing so much about yourself and your life and your perspective. And also, I just want to say that yeah, it's so interesting meeting you after knowing Youngmi for so long because you're so outgoing and you're very intelligent and you're very open-minded, and I can see where she gets it from. So thank you. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
No.
Okay, thank you, and I enjoyed it, and I hope I have right answer, but I don't. Maybe I always maybe thinking maybe somebody ask a question, you know. One thing is life is kind of unique, and don't take it serious, you know. It's always past, and always happen, always, you know. After past, I always miss that time, you know. I was so stupid. I was so depressed, and you know, so frightful. And when I was spend whole my 30, you know, for worry. So after that, now I understand is nothing really serious happened. You have to Yep.
All right.
Oh, well.
And Brian, I hope.
Thank you.
Okay. You guys have a good time, and thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye.